Hello students, I am Sanghamitra. Today I will discuss a new poem, very interesting poem, that is No Men Are Foreign, which is included in the 6th chapter from Beehive of class 9. This poem was written by James Kirkup. His full name was James Falconer Kirkup, who was born on 23rd April in 1918 in England and was died on 10th May in 2009 in the same place. His nationality was English because he was born in England. He was a notable English poet, translator and travel writer also. He wrote over 30 books including autobiographies, novels and plays also. He has written fiction, journalism and poetry, etc. Among these works, I, of all people, know more Hiroshimas. These are most famous. He has completed his education from Grey College, Durham University. So let us discuss about the central idea and theme of this poem and analysis also stanza wise. Okay, let's see. This poem celebrates a universal brotherhood. That means all men are equal. No one is different with other persons. The poet says everyone is equal and has the same body. He says everyone has a body that breathes like ours and we have the same land on which we walk upon. So if we hate anyone, we will hate ourselves. He ends the poem by saying that all men are equal in this world. That is the theme of this poem. So one by one I will explain according to stanza. Total this poem is divided into 5 stanzas. So what the poet said in this poem I will explain. Stanza 1. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign, beneath all uniforms. A single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall die. In the first stanza, the poet says that no men are strange. Strange means unknown to each other. And no country is foreign. People will draw a boundary on this land, but all the land are the same. So he is attempting to remove the borders from the earth which have been erected to separate different countries. Then only no country will be foreign. We will feel every country as our own land. When there will be no borders, everyone will be free to move around. So here in the second line, beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. So suppose according to designation, according to position, suppose nurse, armies, they are dressed different race of different countries. Suppose Pakistani and Chinese, their armies dress different dresses, but Indian armies dress are different. But beneath the uniform, a single body remains. This body, everyone's body, the same, because we takes breath. That body takes breath in the same way. That is the meaning. So the poet wants to say the entire earth is one and all the people who live on this earth belong to one human race. Then he says that inside the uniforms worn by soldiers of different countries, the human being is the same. God has made of us in a similar way. All breathe in the same way. Just like ours, we take breathe in one way and the same way other persons takes breath. the land our brothers walk upon. On the land, on the same land, all the people walk upon, that they are our brothers, because they are same, is earth like this, in which we all shall die, in which, in the ground of our land, of the same land, we will die, and we will lie under the cemetery, under the ground. So we are the same. So then the poet says that all the soldiers are our bodies, and we all walk upon the same mother earth, and upon our death we shall lie in the grave in the same earth. That is the meaning. In the second stanza, they too are of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So they means foreigners here. They are award of sun, air, water. These are the natural objects. Sun, sunlight, air, water are fed by peaceful harvest. So like us, when we live in peaceful time, these are the natural objects we take in the same way: sunlight, air, water. And the foreigners, in the same way, they take also in the same way: sunlight, air, water. By war's long winter starved, but during that time, war time and winter time, cold winter, in that time no production will be grown, so no production will be held. Production means food. Due to lack of food, all people are starved during that particular time, war time and a cold winter time. That is, we suffered in the same way in our land, and the foreigners also suffered. They are suffered also in that same way. No one is different. So here they refers to those people who belong to other countries. They call them foreigners and discriminate them and fight with them also. The poet says that nature has given all the bounties to all people, also just like he has given to us. Everyone gets sunlight, air, and water in equal measure, which means that God does not differentiate between people from different countries. We all do farming during the time of peace, when there is no war. We live a relaxed life and eat the things given to us by nature. Further, the poet adds that the way we starve during wars and winter time is the same for those foreigners belonging to other countries. Even they don't get food at that time, like us, just like us. So their hands are ours. So those people and us all are the same. Their hands also our hand. So we are equal, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So a labor who belongs to a foreign, who works hard, and that labor who belongs to our land, that labor works in the same way, works hard in the same way. So both laborers are similar. We are not different. That is the meaning, the second stanza. Come to the third stanza. Remember, they have eyes like ours, that awake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. So in this poem, the poet warned us, we should keep in mind, we just should remind, they have eyes like ours. So they have different skin color. Suppose African people, they have a black colors, black skin types. European, they are white, and Indian people, they whitish yellow, and some are black. So different skin color. We are different by our skin color, but every person's, they have same eyes like ours, that awake or sleep. So we awake in the same way, we sleep in the same way. Sleeping, awaking, that are the similar, the same way that is happened. And strength, everyone's strength, that are similar. Strength that can be won by love. So only one thing we should keep in ourselves, that is love. Through love, we must win everything, but not hate. Only love. We should have to win everything. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Though this land is divided into separate boundaries, but those lands, these are separated. That lands is there are one common life, that is living beings. Life here indicates living beings. So all are living beings that all can recognize and understand. So through living beings we can recognize, we can identify ourselves and understand ourselves, because we are human beings, understand ourselves as a humanity. We are human. So this is the message given by the poet. So the fourth stanza, let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Here, dispossess means deprive. So the poet warned us again, let us remember, let us keep in mind again, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, when anyone tells you to hate someone else from another country, to think him as our enemy. And whenever we think someone to be our enemy, then we deprive ourselves, we cheat ourselves, and we condemn ourselves. That we shall dispossess, that means we shall deprive ourselves, betray and condemn. Remember, again the poet used that word remember. The poet emphasized on that particular word remember, we who take arms. Arms here means guns, bombs, any destructive instrument for using destruction against each other. When we take any arms against each other, at that time what happened, just you should remember that. So here he says that we should stay away from such negativity. These are the negative activities. We should not consider anyone to be our enemy. That is why the poet says that war is not in our favor. He says that whenever we pick any weapon against someone, we should remember one thing. So what is one thing? The poet explained in fifth stanza. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. It is the human earth. We should keep in mind, we should remind that whenever we pick weapons against any person, we make the earth dirty, pollute, because weapons kill people and their bodies which fall on the earth make it dirty. Whenever war happens, it leads to a lot of bloodshed, fire and death. These dead bodies accumulate on the earth and it makes it impure. The fire of war which erupts, the smoke which comes out, the dust which fills the air, it is so dirty that it pollutes and outrages here means ends the purity of the air. With all these things, the poet wants to give us a message that we should indulge in war. So the last line again is repeated, only two words, just first line and the fifth stanza's last line are quite same, but one difference, that is strange and foreign. That particular two words are reversed in the last line of the fifth stanza. So the last word foreign placed before the strange, so that's reversed. Why it is reversed? Because the poet emphasized on this particular message. He wanted to give us what is it. Finally, he ends this poem by writing the first line in reverse and saying that, remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange. So he emphasized on that particular topic, that is, no men are foreign. That means all men are equal, no one is different, and no country is strange, no countries are unknown to us, because only though it is separated through boundaries, through maps, according to maps it is separated with each other, but the lands of each countries are same, we are equal. So it is the analysis of this poem. So let us discuss now literary devices used in these poems. At first I have said here is no rhyme scheme, because the last word of each line here is no rhyming word, so that's why it is written in free verse. Free verse means no rhyme scheme in this poem, that's why it is called free verse. So one by one I am explaining literary devices. First one, alliteration. In first stanza, just see here, first stanza, second line, body breathes. B, the same consonant sound is repeated in the close connected words in the same line. Closely connected words, body and breath are placed side by side in the same line, and the same consonant both words started at the beginning of both words, so it is called alliteration. And come to the second stanza, second line, words long winter. Closely placed words are words and winter. W, the same consonant sound is repeated at the beginning of these words, so here alliteration is used. Next, metaphor. Metaphor, I have said, a hidden comparison is made between two objects. Hidden comparison, not, that is called implicit comparison, by not using this type of word as, like, etc. So here hidden comparison is made between, in the second stanza, war and winter. War is compared with winter because the situation that is created in that particular time, war time, and winter, that is dry, no food is produced in that particular time, the situation is same. So here, for that particular reason, war is compared with winter, so metaphor is used. Okay. Next, uniform. First stanza, all uniforms. Uniforms refers to here military of different countries. So here metaphor is used because here the outward part of each person of different countries, that is compared with military different types of military dresses of different countries. So here metaphor is used, hidden comparison. Next, repetition, another figures of speech, that is one particular word is repeated several times, one more times. Here one particular word, that is remember. Remember is repeated in first stanza, third stanza, first line, and fourth stanza 2 times, first line and last line, and fifth stanza, last line. Remember, this particular word is repeated several times for emphasizing, because emphasizing on that particular message the poet wanted to give us, that is, we should keep in mind, we should not indulge in war, because we are the same in mind and in body also, and in lifestyle also. And first line of this poem, remember, no men are foreign, no countries foreign. This line is repeated in the last line of the fifth stanza. That is, only one word is reversed, two words, foreign and strange, are reversed. So, but though it is reversed, but this sentence is, this line is repeated. That's why it is called repetition. And next, enjambment. Enjambment means running lines of poetry from one line to the next without using any kind of punctuation to indicate a stop. That means a sentence, just one line is continued in the second line up to the second or third or fourth line. One sentence is not completed because no punctuation mark was there. Here, first stanza, first stanza, second, third, fourth line. Just at the end of this line, just look at this here. No punctuation mark is here. So here, second line is ended with the fourth, ended up to the fourth line, at the fourth line, and second stanza, third line and fourth line, fourth stanza, first line and second line, third stanza, first, second and third line, fourth stanza, first and second line, and fifth stanza, second and third line. Just see, no punctuation mark is used in between these two lines, not sentence. One line is continued in the second, third or fourth, continuing up to the fourth line, and after that sentence is completed, but line is continuing. So in that, that is called enjambment. This particular figures of speech called enjambment. So these are literary devices are used in these poems, and let us see the question answers also.
Not sure if you know this, but when we first met, I got so nervous I couldn't speak. In that very moment, I found the one that my life had found its missing piece. So as long as I live, I love you. We'll have it, hold you. You look so